What is going on, everybody? My name is Kneeckoh and welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet VGC Moveset guide. Today, we're going to be talking about a Pokemon that started seeing a lot of success back in Series 2 and is just going to continue thriving moving into Series 3 or Regulation C, whatever you want to call it. That Pokemon is Gothitelle. This Pokemon's absolutely crazy and I think it is going to be continuously crazy moving into the next format. But if this is your first time here on the channel, make sure you are subbed for more videos like this in the future. Let's get into it. Now, my question right now, what was your favorite partner for Gothitelle going into Series 2, and what do you think it's going to be going into Series 3? This Pokemon has just started seeing more and more popularity as we move along, mainly because of Shadow Tag. Shadow Tag is absolutely nuts. Fantastic use of an ability, especially considering one of the most prominent Pokemon right now is Palafin. Palafin is not able to switch out unless it's running Flip Turn, which many are not running Flip Turn anymore. So you're able to lock into Palafin and just completely shut it down along with Perish Trap shenanigans. This Pokemon does so much for a team, and I think it just continues doing so much for a team moving into Series 3 because of the new Pokemon that we have available to us. So first off, like we always do, I'm going to talk about a moveset for this Pokemon. I've got two here, actually, because I think two are actually going to be pretty solid and pretty usable going into Regulation C. So the first is just one that I have pulled from a Moxie Boosted Perish Song team because I've been playing with the team on the ladder, and it's a lot of fun. Shadow Tag is the move. We have Colbur Berry here to mitigate the Dark type damage. Obviously, Terra Dark is very nice for this Pokemon. Fake Out is here, Psychic, Trick Room, and Protect. Basically, this is here to fake stuff out, protect the following turn, wait for the last turn to Perish Trap, and then flip out. That's basically what this set is meant to do, with the EV spread being 244 HP, 84 defense, 4 special attacks, 60 special defense, and 116 speed. Just a really solid set to, again, run in a Perish Trap setup. I really do think Gothitelle is going to be a problem going into Series 3 because of Perish Trap teams. I think it's a style of team and an archetype of team that is going to become more popular. I don't think it'll be super popular because it is a very tricky type of team to play, but I think we will see a lot of it, even more so than we did in Series 2. The second set is one that I specifically feel is fantastic next to a Ting-Lu. I really think that this is a great set next to Ting-Lu. So this is, I just copied the EV spread over from the previous one, but Shadow Tag is here. Then you have Heal Pulse, Psychic, Trick Room, and Protect, because Ting-Lu thrives under Trick Room. If Trick Room goes up, Ting-Lu eats. It just comes to the party and eats. Fantastic partner for Ting-Lu. And then you could just basically sit there and spam Fissure Stomping Tantrum shenanigans if you have an AV set. And it's just a really powerful combination. And every time this gets low, you just heal it back up with Gothitelle, and it's crazy. It's like having an Amoonguss next to it without the redirection, and it's really solid. So we have Heal Pulse, Psychic, Trick Room, Protect. Again, this is when leftovers. You could run Citrus Berry. I've seen a lot of restoration items on Gothitelle. Really, this is going to be able to sit there and just kind of keep things in, let whatever is next to you continue to lower them and make them weaker, and just kind of do your thing with the other Pokemon. This Pokemon's just kind of there to be a problem for the opposing team. Now, Pokemon that I think this is going to pair incredibly well with, like I mentioned, Ting-Lu eats next to a Gothitelle. It eats next to a Gothitelle. Whether it be on a Perish Song team, whether it just be on a Trick Room team, it doesn't matter. This Pokemon just does so incredibly well next to it because there's Fake Out potential. You can Fake Out, go for a Fissure, next turn, go ahead and hit Stomping Tantrum for that ×2 damage plus your stab. Insane amounts of damage. Just a really solid combo. Let me throw on the moves here. I think this is super solid. You're gonna see it a lot with Wo-Chien as well. Wo-Chien and Ting-Lu are the two that I think you need to be afraid of. I've said this before, I'll say it again. The other two are there, but they're frail and they go quick. They're gone very quickly. These two are the ones you need to watch out for. Ting-Lu because of Fissure shenanigans and Stomping Tantrum. Wo-Chien because of Leech Seed and Stall. Like, these two Pokemon are absolutely insane right now in the metagame, and they are a problem to deal with because of how healthy they are, what they do. It's just they're very powerful Pokemon. But I think Gothitelle next to Wo-Chien is very good as well. You could set Leech Seeds, rotate Gothitelle in, and then they can't rotate out to get rid of the Leech Seed, and you can just kind of stall them out that way. Really solid combination. Screamtail is here. If you think about Wolfie's team at Orlando, Perish Song. It's going to be something that is just super common to see with Gothitelle, because you're locking stuff in and you're able to Perish Song up, rotate out, and then just kind of stall out with Gothitelle and other Pokemon on your team. It's going to be incredibly solid. I've already seen a bunch of rental codes and stuff on the ladder. Pokesports was using one. Moxie Boosted's used a couple. Like, it's going to be very, very good in Series 3 if you feel comfortable enough playing it. I like playing Perish Song personally. I'm not good at playing Perish Song. So for me, I don't play it as much on ladder as I could, but I really do think it's a fun archetype of team. Another Pokemon that you're going to see, probably Glimmora. Glimmora with Wo-Chien is super common right now. Glimmora is absolutely crazy. You know, you get in there, you poison stuff with Mortal Spin, you sit in front of stuff, and then you can rotate in Gothitelle, and everything that's poisoned just stuck there and taking damage every turn, which I think is a really smart way to play this particular Pokemon. So I definitely think you're going to see it with Glimmoras. It's going to be annoying. It's not going to be something you want to deal with all that frequently. Fluttermanes, obviously. Flutter as another Perish Song user that you're going to be able to use, as well as just a Pokemon that does an incredible amount of damage. So having it with Gothitelle and having those Pokemon stuck is really, really good. Other things, Arcanine, actually, if you consider the fact that this locks in Palafin, is a really good combination, because you can burn the Palafin before it's able to rotate out, and then you are just basically good to ignore Palafin the rest of the game. I think that's a really solid combination into Palafin matchups or other, you know, really powerful physical attack matchups. I think that Gothitelle Arcanine is very, very solid. Azumarill, another great Pokemon next to this, whether it be the AV set or the Perish Song set. Just a really, really solid Pokemon next to it, because you can Perish Song, or if you're going for more like a Ting-Lu Heal Pulse Trick Room set, you could run an AV Azumarill and just have a really strong water type attacker under Trick Room with huge power. Really solid Pokemon to put next to it. I think it's a really good option for dealing with other issues and not necessarily wanting to run like Bundle or Palafin. If you look at water types right now that are super prevalent, we don't have a ton that are really popping up outside of Palafin and Bundle. So Azumarill, I feel, is a really good option. I guess the other one is Pelipper, but Pelipper is more of a setup Pokemon for these other Pokemon to kind of go in. Pokemon that will be problematic for Gothitelle to deal with. Immediately, obviously, the big one that comes to mind is Fluttermane. Fluttermane is going to be a problem for this Pokemon, and there's no way around it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Fluttermane is going to be good into the main Terra type for Gothitelle, as well as its base type, with Moonblast being able to deal with the Terra typing, and Shadow Ball being able to deal with the base typing. So, either way, this Pokemon is going to play very, very well, and it's a ghost type. It can rotate out of Perish Trap, so you don't have to worry about that. So I think Fluttermane is the best counter. Another Pokemon that you'll probably still see, just not as frequently, is Goldango. Goldango is mainly running Water Terra type at this time, because you don't want to steal Terra type in front of a Chi-Yu right now. So Goldango is one that's going to be able to deal with it pretty effectively. Chi-Yu itself is not too terrible into this, because you're able to go in and like Dark Pulse and do things like that. And if you know they're going to Terra, you can just go for a Heat Wave and just do big damage because of the Beads of Ruin ability. Chi-Yu is going to be really solid into this, as long as you know, maybe run like Terra Ghost, don't get faked out. That's going to put you in a really strong position against Gothitelle. Wo-Chien is actually a pretty big problem for Gothitelle, because you're basically able to just sit there, Leech Seed it, and if you have your own Gothitelle on your side of the field, you just Leech Seed it, and you just kind of just like sit there with whatever Pokemon are stuck in, and you can Pollen Puff. You could literally just sit in front of it and not worry about it at all, especially considering its favorite Terra type right now is Fairy. It's very easy for this Pokemon to just kind of chill and take a bunch of hits and leech it all back after the turn is over with like a leftover set. Just a really good way to stall out the game and just ignore what Gothitelle does. One that I don't think is going anywhere, Kingambit. Kingambit is one that's going to be extremely good. I think it's going to continue being good in Regulation C, simply because of the fact that it does huge damage. It has type advantages going into all of the Ruinous Pokemon. It's just a really solid Pokemon to bring all around. Now, you do have to be careful, obviously, because Chien-Pao and Chi-Yu are very good into Kingambit. But this Pokemon to deal with a Gothitelle is just incredibly solid with a Kowtow Cleave, or even using like Assurance or something. Just a very solid bring all around into this particular Pokemon. Another Pokemon that doesn't play particularly well into the type advantage situation for Gothitelle, but does play well in Gothitelle, is Iron Hands. If you consider the fact that you're able to slow Volt Switch out of the Shadow Tag, you don't have to worry about this Pokemon getting Perish Trapped. So that's something you really have to consider with running an Gothitelle into an Iron Hands. You can potentially get faked out if you're not faster, or if they're running like a weird set and they are really fast on their Iron Hands. You can get faked out. You can get Volt Switched out of Perish Trap. Like, there's a lot that this Pokemon does for that is just very, very good. Now, you may not think of Gothitelle as like an attacker, but there are some Pokemon that actually don't like Gothitelle very much right now. Some that are really popping up quite a bit. If you look at like Glimmora really hates Gothitelle because you don't set Toxic Debris because you're not hitting it with a physical attack. So you're able to sit there and spam Psychic and just deal with Glimmora very effectively, which is really, really solid. Another Pokemon that just really doesn't like the existence of Gothitelle is Amoonguss. Especially if you have like a mouse hold with safety goggles, like Gothitelle can just sit there and Psychic an Amoonguss till it's gone. Like, it does so much damage to an Amoonguss that it's unreal. It's absolutely unreal. So these two Pokemon in particular are dealt with very effectively by Gothitelle, and is something that you should definitely consider when you're going up against these particular Pokemon if you're bringing Gothitelle into a battle. So those are my thoughts on Gothitelle. Leave a comment below on your thoughts. I think this Pokemon is super solid. I just made a video where I played a team with it that won a regional event in Series 2. Really solid team, really fun stuff. This Pokemon will just continue being good despite the addition of new Dark-type Pokemon being added in Regulation C. I think this is just a really solid bring all around. But if you enjoyed the video at any point, please leave a like and subscribe for more content like this every single day. This is the first of many videos that I'm recording today because I'm trying to get everything prepped so that way I don't have to worry about videos while I'm at Fort Wayne. So there's going to be a lot of videos recorded today. My brain will hurt by the end of the day, but hopefully you guys enjoy. If you want to join a really fun community, check out the Discord where people over there hanging out playing Pokemon all the time. I don't want to brag, but I feel like I have one of the most like positive, nice communities for new players. If you want to hop in, everybody's so kind, everybody's so helpful in there, so definitely check that out. If you want to see more from me, check out this Gothitelle team that I was talking about just a second ago. Super fun to use. I really recommend it. Also check out this other video where I use the same team and Iron Jugulus goes off. Super cool stuff. Really enjoyed that. And also check out this Lilligant team that won Vancouver Regionals. But until next time, peace.